primary care.
Shane Steinberg here from Highway 51 Exchange, your equipment rental headquarters, south of Clinton on US 51. Check our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com to book online today and pick up tomorrow. Highway 51 Exchange.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Hi, this is Dr. Sue Stir from Covenant Animal Clinic. We are very happy to be the proud sponsor of a new Adopt a Pet page on DeWittDailyNews.com. Just click on the icon next to the masthead to get to the new Adopt a Pet page. Then you will be able to see some of the adorable dogs and cats at the DeWitt County Animal Shelter that are waiting for their forever home. You can also click on the link from the page to fill out the animal adoption application form. Thank you for helping us spread the word about our four-legged friends at the DeWitt County Animal Shelter who are ready to be adopted. And remember, a healthy pet is a happy pet.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning is Tanika Stewart with Synergy Home Care. Tanika, good to see you. Thanks for coming in today.
Good morning, Seth. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for doing this. Well, let's we've had Synergy in before, but let's remind folks, what is Synergy Home Care? What do you all do?
Synergy Home Care is a non-medical in-home care. Basically, our emphasis is to allow people to age in place as independent as possible wherever home is, whether they're in the hospital, in a facility, or they want to stay at home. Mm-hmm. We help them.
So how do you help them?
So we have caregivers. We hire caregivers to come into the home to assist with the typical activities of daily living, bathing, showering, transportation, peace of mind and respite for family members to know that they have their loved one at home where they're happiest and healthiest, but they also have someone there to kind of keep an eye out for them to make sure that they stay safe.
Sure. When it comes to Synergy, how does one come into your care? Remind us about that.
So we really care for all ages, but seniors are where the heart is. People age, they get older, and a lot of Central Illinois families have been born and raised in their home, and they do not want to leave, and we don't want them to, but it gets hard. You get older, you need help, your family has grown, they have their kids, their work, their jobs, and they can't always be there. Mm-hmm. So we can come into the home and keep them there. Mm-hmm. And also too, if a family has to go into transition into that next retirement community or assisted living, we can also help them transition there as well.
What does that look like, if you don't mind me asking?
So let's say we've cared for a client for a year and it's just impossible. It's not safe for them to be at home. Well, when they leave their home, that changes the dynamic of their life. Mm-hmm. And we can go in with them, help them move in, go and check on them. Caregivers can go in and get them out in their community in activities, still take them to and from the doctors on the days that the facility buses don't run. Just really all around care.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when you're in the home, when a senior is in the home and you're helping them maintain that independence and those sorts of things, are you there, 8 to 5? Is it as needed? What does that look like?
Seth, that is a great question. And yes. So families typically choose their own schedule. For example, no two families are the same. They're typical, but they're not the same. Somebody might need help in the morning, just getting up out of bed, getting their breakfast and getting the laundry, the bed sheets changed, and then we're out of there. So we can do 3-hour minimums all the way up to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yes.
No kidding. Yeah.
We are open 24/7.
Sure. When it comes to the assistance that seniors need, I mean, is there a most common circumstance that you encounter with a in-home that helping them maintain that independence aspect of their care?
That's a great question too. So we really don't want to do anything for anybody. Mm-hmm. We want to help them with the things that they need help with. That's probably making sure that the food in the refrigerator is fresh and not expired. Mm-hmm. If they want to do crafts, if they still want to get out and go to the senior center, go get their hair done, their nails done, visit with friends. Mm-hmm. It just really making the bed is a good one. Mm-hmm. Cooking with them, baking with them, just keeping them active and engaged.
Right. And that's for seniors. That's huge, right? Because that just continues that mental stimulation they need to maintain that independence.
It is. And like I said before, you are healthiest and happiest at home. Mm-hmm. And we really don't want to be there if we're not needed,
Mhm.
but this is something that's definitely needed. Families transition onto hospice. We work with the hospice providers
Mhm.
to keep that person comfortable and
Mhm.
safe. Let's say you get discharged from the hospital
Mhm.
and you still need care, but you also have OT, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech. Our caregivers encourage those exercises because one thing is you need to move and do them every day.
Right. Every
5
day.
minutes, 10 minutes,
Every
it
day.
doesn't matter,
Yep.
but we will encourage those things. Remind them to take their medications when it's time.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep, totally. Absolutely. Now, we mentioned that folks come to you oftentimes, you probably just recommendation, you word of mouth, those sorts of things. Remind us your service area where you can help folks at in Central Illinois.
So we are in Sangamon, Morgan, Christian, Menard, Macoupin, Logan, DeWitt. We are pretty much in a lot of places in Central Illinois.
Mhm.
We travel outside of Springfield. Obviously, we travel Decatur, Forsyth, Clinton,
Mhm.
all the smaller areas.
Yeah. I know we've got listeners all over the place. Maybe someone is 2 hours away and they're hearing this and they're thinking, this sounds great for my mom and dad, or my mom who lives alone, or, if they want to get that care started, what does that process look like to get that maybe parent enrolled and get them kind of going with Synergy?
It just takes a simple phone call.
Mhm.
You can call our Springfield office at 217-303-8555 and just have a conversation with our client care manager, who is lovely. Her name is Kelsey Mibbs.
Mhm.
Kelsey will do the intake. And even if you're out of our service area, we like to be a resource. So we will help you find what it is that you're looking for,
Yeah.
even if it's not us.
That's great. That's great for sure. Tanika Stewart with Synergy Home Care is in studio with us here for this morning. Anything else on just the basics of Synergy, Tanika, that we haven't touched on?
Yeah, we hire caregivers that have heart. We try to match our
Mhm.
caregivers with the client because this is a personal decision that
Yeah.
a family's making. And I'd like people to be prepared. I wasn't prepared when my mom passed away in 2017 of cancer. So knowing what your options are before you need them
Mhm.
is always key.
Yeah. Let's speak to that caregiver piece just briefly, if you don't mind. Matching them with the right person. What does that look like, and how does that match happen?
So we don't assign caregivers to a client. That just doesn't make sense. So for example, I started as a caregiver
Mhm.
and I went into a home and I was great, but just not in the morning.
Mhm.
They're not morning people. I'm bubbly and
Mhm.
excited all the time. So I kind of moved to an afternoon shift. They needed a more calmer, quieter person in the morning. So
Yeah,
we
sure.
really work with the families hand in hand. Communication is definitely key.
Yeah, we're matching that personality.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For
Yes.
sure. And the other thing I wanted to touch on was the consistency of that caregiver. Do you mind speaking to that a little bit?
Yeah, just like the families, they call us because they need a break. They need to restore and recharge.
Mhm.
We allow that same thing for our caregivers. Caregivers and clients do match, and there are clients and caregivers that work every Wednesday from 1 to 4. They have that same client.
Mhm.
Caregivers love to work and they love to know where they're going, and we do try to build a team because just like everybody else, they get sick, they have days off. The younger you are, the longer you celebrate your birthday. So we have those things in place to make sure that there is a consistent care team
Sure.
taking care of your loved one.
Well, and for that loved one, they want that consistency too. That person you're caring for, they want that same person. They know them, they know their routine, and somebody else comes in and they're going to have to get to know them in that routine. Does that make sense?
It is, and that is double-sided too. For some people, the constant mental stimulation, somebody new to talk to, especially if you're not a consistent client every week. If you just have a shift, we just have to see you once a month. So once a month, they know that they're going to have a new friend that's going to come and help them. Or if they have to have a new friend, they're open to it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think about that, but change is not always bad.
Mm-hmm. And people just enjoy that new person to talk to get to know the people.
Yeah, and like I said, we
so.
work very hand in hand. So the care plan is what it is, and it can change at any time. But our caregivers are very fully aware, and we introduce them to the clients. We just don't send them there.
Yeah.
We go with them their first shift, kind of show them around a little bit so that they can hit the ground running and provide the care needed.
Definitely. Now, when it comes to communication with the family of the person you're caring for, can you speak to that a little bit and what that looks like?
Yes, a lot of people have power of attorneys. Some people have guardians. Some people have, like a lot of families have like a system. Sister does bills, brother does yard, then there's the grocery store runner, and then there's the family manager. So the family manager kind of keeps us abreast of everything that's going on so that we know, so that our caregivers know.
Sure, very good. Well, Tanika, I look at the clock. We're a little bit ahead of a break, but I want to make sure we get plenty of time to hear your testimony, because I know Synergy has meant a lot to you. In the meantime, before we go to break, how do folks learn more about Synergy? Maybe call to learn about the services you offer. They've got questions if they want to enroll a family member. How do they get a hold of Synergy?
They can go to our website at www.synergyhomecare.com. Look for the Central Illinois. You can read about our services, our testimonies, and you can also call our Springfield office 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 217-303-8555.
Again, that is Tanika Stewart with Synergy Home Care, our guest in studio today. More to come with Tanika on the morning show on WHOW.
WHOW.
Finding a local job in Central Illinois has never been easier. Don't waste time driving far or spending too much on gas. Visit IllinoisJobPost.com. It's your one-stop site to find local, full-time, and part-time job openings. Best of all, it's completely free for job seekers to access anytime, day or night. So if you're ready to land a job close to home, make IllinoisJobPost.com your first stop. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. Brought to you by your friends at the regional radio stations.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Netflix buffering, YouTube spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. Ugh, it's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, my guest in studio this morning is Tanika Stewart with Synergy Home Care, our guest. And Tanika, tell us your story and how Synergy, you came to know about Synergy through a loved one. How about that?
So actually, I lived in Arizona. I'm born and raised in Springfield, but moved to Arizona after college and got married and stuff. And my mom struggled with cancer. She battled cancer 3 times. The 4th time it came back, it was terminal. So she was over the chemo. She was over the doctor's appointments and the radiation and all of that stuff. So she decided to go on hospice care. Had no idea what hospice care was. I thought they would be there all the time. But my sister and my mom wanted to be at home, so we came up with the system. I was there Monday, Tuesday. She worked the rest of the week from home. And then I was back on the weekends caring for my mom. And it took a toll on us. It cost me my job and it cost me my marriage, which is how I ended up being back in Illinois. Moved back to live with my dad for a while, figure things out, and then my dad gets prostate cancer. So had to care for him through that. He's well and good now, but I didn't know about options after surgery, after someone goes on hospice. And then I started working at Synergy Home Care as a caregiver. And when I tell you finding your purpose in life is something that not a lot of people have the opportunity to do, but I did there.
Yeah. How'd you come to learn about Synergy?
Actually, my sister is a part-time caregiver for Synergy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had worked for this place for a year or two, and she was like, sister, you've got to go down there. I mean, you pick your schedule, you work when you want to, you just have to work one shift a week. And I was like, get out of town. I had time to figure out, what I wanted to do because I just moved here. And I went in for an interview, and I will just wrap it up really quickly. I started as a caregiver. Then I went to the client care manager, got my dementia practitioner certification, and I'm living my purpose. And now I'm the regional community liaison for the area. And it is just, I can't explain. Synergy allows you to care. It allows you to care for your community, for your clients, and it is just an amazing thing. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. Now, why did you choose to go into the dementia side of Synergy Care?
The dementia practitioner is a certification that you pretty much need to have to be able to be a client care manager, and it just helps me identify early memory issues and be able to work with the client with dementia. For example, my first client had dementia, and the family just didn't understand in the beginning that you have to live in their world. If it's Tuesday at 5 o'clock and in 1947, it's Tuesday at 5 o'clock at 1947. There's no rationalizing, there's no explaining, there's no changing their mind. It is living in their world. They are still there. We played dress up. With permission from her daughter, I was able to film her cooking and moving around her home, beautiful home, putting things away. Ask her, where does this cup go? You allow them to help you care for them.
Yeah. How did that enable you to be a better caregiver, if you don't mind me asking?
My family situation. So I no longer have living grandparents and cared for all of them. I think all of us have a little bit of caregiver in them, but when it's a family member, you want the best for them, and that takes a toll on you. And it took a toll on me. I mean, like I said, I lost my family. I mean, my marriage fell apart. I lost my job because I was so focused on caring for my mom. It changed the dynamic of my sister and I. We both wanted her to have the best care, but neither one of us were professional caregivers. Had no idea about places like this that even existed until I moved back home to Illinois.
Definitely. Well, and as you've learned about Synergy, I mean, obviously you're probably telling everyone you know, but I shouldn't have said it that way. I apologize.
No, but you're right.
You're telling people is what I meant to say, and so when you're messaging to them, what is the pitch, I guess, and what, how do you convey all that experience you had, and to say Synergy is this one place, this entity that can be there for you and your family. How, what is that pitch from your perspective?
So it's not really a pitch. It is a pitch because we have rules and regulations, but it's really just listening. Listening to a family talk, whether it's just one daughter that lives in town and her husband and the client, I just let them talk. And then through that, I don't think that they realize that they are struggling because they're watching their rock wither. And I've watched my rock wither. I watched my mom go from this strong woman who taught me everything I know to me taking care of her because she couldn't take care of herself. And my dad reminded me when I started this that you're once a man and you're twice a child. So you're born into this world needing care, and then you care for everyone else around you. You instill the values, their morals, all of those things. And then you go to a place where you can no longer take care of yourself like a child again. And listening to families, we can determine. So it sounds like you really need help with the laundry. You really need help with appointments. You don't really need help with bathing and showering, but that's something we can do. You just listen to what they need. And then from there, we develop a plan of care.
You said Once a man, twice a child. To me
Yes.
earlier, I didn't understand it. I'm glad you explained it. That's such great insight. I know, Tanika. Anything else on your testimony, your experience you wanted to put out there before we move along this morning?
I think that just make a phone call. It is just a phone call. Life happens fast and it does not ask for permission. So with my mom, I didn't know what my resources were. And now I spend my day, my life connecting people to their resources. And I just want everyone to be connected to what's available to them out there.
Sure. Well, in what I see of Synergy on social media, you're out in the community a lot, and there's a couple of things coming up you're going to be at. What's going on with Synergy?
Yes, we are going to be at the fair on Monday. That's senior day at the fair. We will have all of the information, and Taylor Stevens and I will be out there at the fair. Yesterday, we did a health fair. We have October. There's just so many things coming up. So we're always out in the community, engaging with the community about what we do.
When it comes to, and I just kind of thought of this, had a squirrel moment. When it comes to like the winter months, do you get out in like inside events, things like that? Are you active in those months?
Yeah, care doesn't stop.
Sure,
yeah, care doesn't stop. It's actually picked up then because, as you know, around the holidays, that is a festive time for a lot of people, but for some people it's not. You know, the winter, it's colder. You're not getting out as much. You are becoming shut in your home. And so we really just want to give you that quality of life back.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. Well, Tanika, I've got a couple of minutes. Anything we didn't touch on, whether it's Synergy, whether your testimony, upcoming things that Synergy's doing, what's on your mind?
So I'm not prepared today with my calendar, but just check us out. Check us out on social media, on Facebook. Follow our Synergy Home Care of Central Illinois page. We are always hiring caregivers, especially in those new areas, the Morgan, Macoupin County area. Definitely looking to hire caregivers there.
What do you look for in a caregiver?
Heart. This is not a job where you show up and ring people up. Someone has trusted us to keep their loved ones safe. They have to have their own car, reliable transportation insurance in their name, because we take people places. We pick people up from surgeries. Synergy does not do a contract, no minimums per month per the state of Illinois. We just have to see our clients every 30 days, but we're here for you.
Yeah, definitely. How does one apply to be a caregiver through Synergy?
They can call that office number at 217-303-8555. Or they may look us up online at synergyhomecare.com and apply from there.
Now, you mentioned when you first started, it was kind of work your own, you can pick when you work and that sort of thing. Is it still work that way?
Seth, yes, that was the beautiful part. That was the most beautiful part, was looking at the clients that needed care. And then I had my consistent client. I worked 40 hours a week with them for a while. And then when their life changed, I was still able to do the same thing for someone else.
Sure. Very good. Tanika, it was great to have you in the studio today. Thank you.
Yes, Seth, thanks for having me. We appreciate you.
Definitely. Tanika Stewart with Synergy Home Care, our guest in studio here for this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Of course, we stream live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news comes your way next on the WHOW Morning Show.